Disney Pixar just had the worst flop in the entire history of the company. Elio only earned $35 million at the worldwide box office this past opening weekend, sitting at number 32 in the box office order, and only less than $21 million domestic opening weekend, making it the worst opening weekend domestically for the entire history of the Disney Pixar company, which previously the lowest record for an opening was Toy Story, the film that kicked off the company way back in 1995. Now, adjusted for inflation, that number is probably like 1.5 to 2 times that number today. So this is terrible for them. Guys, Disney fatigue has set in. This is not some woke narrative that you can blame politics on. This is not people being afraid of like opening their kids up to different stories, by the Disney Corporation for fear of propaganda. No. This is your average Disney adult crowd, your average Disney theater-going crowd who will take their kids to anything regardless of what it is, as long as it has the Disney name attached to it. This is their apathy. They're not turning out now, which means the company, Disney Pixar, is finished. If your film's doing worse than Karate Kid Legends, then I don't know what to say. Because there was a period of time when Pixar could just shit out a movie, and that thing made like at least $400 million. Minimum. $600 million was usually their gold standard, right? Low-cost movies, no more than usually $200 million between production and marketing. High returns, like $200, $300, $400 million returns. I remember watching Up in the theater as a little boy, and I remember just how absolutely moved I was. To see how far this company has fallen is actually quite sad. Normally on this channel, I like to make fun of how badly woke Hollywood is performing. Normally, I like to make fun of Disney because of how badly their stuff has flopped. In this case, this is actually kind of sad, because this is something that was near and dear to me as a boy, and to see it go down the toilet this way, it's like a piece of your heart has been taken out, essentially, and that you've had to grow up and now face the real world, and that the real world is often disappointing, right? As a kid, you have so much optimism, and movies often give you a bit of that optimism, and then the real world hits you, and you're like, fuck. But even this, I don't think any of us even counted on even this doing as poorly as it has, right? I expected for a Pixar movie, even one that was not marketed at all, to at least have maybe $50 million, right? Now, it's one thing to say that this movie's going to flop, and it's another to say that this movie's going to lose $600 million. Yeah, you heard me say that correctly. $500 to $600 million loss is the projection. Because according to Disney, the production budget was $150 million, and we know that Disney lies. They lie about their production budgets all the time. When they say it's $150 million production budget, what they actually mean is it's double that. So, in reality, according to other sources, the budget, not including just production, but between production and marketing now, and that's the thing you have to pay attention to. A lot of people often discount marketing costs between production and marketing. This movie apparently was in production hell behind the scenes for years. They couldn't get it off the ground, which ballooned its budget. So the budget apparently ended up being anywhere between $250 to $400 million. Where did that money go? Look at the animation. Look at how dog shit this animation is. Did that money go towards the film? Obviously it did not. So, with that said, on the low end of the spectrum, $250, that's a $500 million break-even point. And they made $36 million, which would make that a $400 million loss by the time this is all said and done, because realistically, this movie is not going to make more than like $70 million, maybe $90 million if they're lucky, right? So that's at least a $400 million loss for them. At the high end, at $300 to $400 million, That is a 600 to 650 break-even point. And they made $36 million. Meaning that when thing is done, if they earn $90 million, ooh, that is, oh my God, that is at least $500 million lost. Ooh, they are going to lose so much money, that I think Pixar might actually end up closing its doors eventually. I'm serious at this point. Because they have made no money on original Pixar movies in years. All of their profitable Pixar movies that they have pumped out in the last few years have all been sequels. Sequels to mediocre films, by the way. At one point in time, Pixar used to be a gold standard. And then around the days of Frozen and onward, I noticed a significant shift in the narrative storytelling. After that, the stories started to become mid. They used to be terrific, and then they became mid. But they still had a lot of box office returns, and that was the important thing. And now we're in the era of nothing for Disney's making money, except sequels. Original content will never make them a dime. Why do you think they had to corrupt every single franchise that they acquired? Disney corrupted Star Wars, corrupted Indiana Jones, because they cannot tell original stories. Their company is so in the toilet. Without their parks, they would be nothing. Because how the hell are they making money? The last movie that made money for Disney was Moana 2. That was back in 2024. And now Lilo and Stitch. Yet another remake. Apparently everybody that watched it told me that it was trash. But like if you turn off your brain, I guess it works. And now we have another flop. So any money that they will make from Lilo and Stitch is about to go down the shitter. At least maybe half of those profits, right? Because that movie's projected to make about $1 billion. Speaking of which, let's check on the box office for that, shall we? $911 million. But half of those profits are going to be lost. Maybe 3/4 of those profits are going to be lost on this piece of shit. Oh my goodness. Disney cannot make money. Because anytime they make money, they immediately squander it in a loss of another blockbuster failure time and again. All right? Let's talk about all the flops that Disney's had. In 2025, they lost money on Captain America Brave New World, The Thunderbolts, Snow White, Elio, and they made money on Lilo and Stitch. So between all those failures, Lilo and Stitch also lost money. If we're talking in terms of how do they reinvest the profits they make from one project into another, they don't have a profit. There is no profit. That profit, the days of glory, is gone. Those days are over. Now all that Disney has left is to lie about their production budgets to their shareholders so that they can hopefully save face. Wow. It's a sad, sad day. Well, the worst is still yet to come because we have Ironheart coming out tomorrow night.
Riri, I see you. I see you're fed up, waiting to be acknowledged for your greatness.
And I'm going to be reacting to that here on the channel, so stay tuned. And then we have Fantastic Four, which is probably also going to lose yet another $200-300 million for them. So, yeah, Disney's not going to make a profit this entire year. All those Lilo and Stitch profits are already down the drain with this movie alone. So, good luck to the rest of the movies in 2025 for Disney, because God knows they're not going to make a single cent on this. But anyway, guys, that was the video. If you like this video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I get progressively more crazy on this channel the more that I see Disney flop, the more that I see Hollywood burn, because each day it continues to get worse, and I still can't believe it. Like, there is no set limit of failure. There is no plateau. It will keep crashing and cratering until Hollywood's on fire.